My sister is getting married. The wedding is on Thursday, the 23rd, and instead of having a big traditional affair, she and her fiancé opted out of all the usual wedding things. They're going to the registry office to sign the papers and then go out to dinner. They chose Thursday because they both have the day off. They work in a hospital and don't always have the weekends off. They invited me, my parents, my brother, and her fiancé's dad to witness them signing the papers and to eat dinner with them because they both have to work the following day. We all think this is a great idea and are happy for them. There's just one thing my parents suggested. My brother struggles with time blindness. It is debilitating to him. Even if he sets alarms or reminders or takes medication for ADHD, it still affects his life. It has affected his job and his relationships. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you how much it affects him. He's currently out of work because of it, and he's missed things such as flights, sporting events, and other life events. I cannot stress how debilitating it is for him, even if he has someone there reminding him and trying to get him out the door on time. Here's the issue. The registry office is so busy that you must make an appointment. You cannot just walk in. It's the same for the restaurant my sister and her fiancé want to have dinner. A reservation is required. Knowing that my brother has trouble because of his time blindness, my parents suggested that instead of going to that particular registry office and that particular place for lunch, my sister and her fiancé should instead go to a different registry office. It's not far away, and this one does not require appointments. It allows walk-ins. There are also many restaurants near this registry office, and none requires reservations. This way, we wouldn't have to miss their appointments because of my brother. It would work for everyone. I thought it was a good idea. However, my sister was incensed when my parents brought it up. Even though the other registry office is only one village over, and going there would not change anything, she said she wouldn't allow our brother's issues to dictate the day. Further, she said that rather than missing the appointment if my brother was late, they would go ahead, and if he missed it, that wasn't their problem. I couldn't believe or understand why she was so incensed, and neither could my parents. I thought the suggestion was a good idea. It would allow my sister to get married on Thursday, like she wants to, without my brother's issues, causing the appointment to be missed. Am I the idiot? I asked because I genuinely thought my parents made a good suggestion that would work well for everyone. So, how often does everyone in the family have to rearrange their plans and organize their life around your brother? You are the idiot, and so are your parents. You can't have a walk-in anything when it involves multiple people gathering. What, are they just supposed to walk in and sit for hours until your brother possibly manages to show up? If you and your parents want him there, assign someone to be your brother's handler that day. Wake him up, hand him the clothes to put on, take him to the car by his hand, drive him, and stop making their wedding day about him. Imagine if it were a traditional wedding. What would they do then? Hold them at the altar until Brother Dearest can come? Good grief. Oh, I just know from reading this that it's been OP's sister's whole life. I wonder how long it'll take for us to see the I had to cut off my whole mentally ill enabling family story. Also, hey, let's go to a cheaper, not as nice restaurant on your wedding so that your brother can sleep in and faff about when he wakes up. Give me a break. Unless your brother is made of liquid or gas, he can be physically brought to this event by another family member. Just because the alternative office and restaurant will allow walk-ins still does not prevent him from forgetting the event altogether or still turning up ridiculously late and making everyone else wait potentially hours. This is 100% not a solution in any sense. Exactly. Guarantee that has been the parents' expectation for this man's entire life. Why do the hard work of teaching him tools to manage his disability when they can just instead expect the whole world to accommodate him? OP, your family are the idiots for suggesting this, and her frustration is probably because she had to grow up and be around this coddling/babying for years. Do not make the sister and her spouse wait around for the brother and just get the brother there on time. It's depressing the way you and your parents think that he should be central to her wedding. I, 30 male, have an older sister, 35, and my younger brother, 27. My brother recently got married to his now wife, and to get straight to the point, no one in the family likes her. She's your average sister-in-law that people complain about having, disrespectful and attention-seeking. There's a lot of drama surrounding her, so my brother wasn't allowed to attend family events if sister-in-law would be there. We also would only celebrate his birthday if she would not be there. He complained, of course, saying how we're making sister-in-law feel unwanted and such, but she does that in our own homes. We went low contact with my brother, but my parents allowed him back for holidays after sister-in-law gave birth to twins, and my mother wanted to be in their lives. Not that it mattered, because sister-in-law won't allow the twins near anyone. I genuinely don't know what my brother sees in her. Her personality would be one he hates, but since he's with her, it's okay. My brother had his wedding, and it was a destination wedding and child-free. None of us could even make it if we wanted to. We wouldn't be able to find babysitters and easily go up to where their wedding was. My brother wasn't happy and has been complaining about it since then, saying how he attended ours and that it wasn't fair that the family could enjoy our day, but not his. He also said we were selfish for not putting our differences with sister-in-law aside. It's been going on for a while, and I told him I don't care if his wedding didn't go the way he wanted, because it wasn't feasible for us, and also because of how his wife acts. Since then, I haven't heard from him, but then I found out from my mother that he ranted to her about how he and his family were being treated horribly by us, and that he was crying. Both my parents think I should apologize. I do love my brother, but I do hate his wife. So, am I the idiot? If we take everything in a vacuum, it's everyone's the idiot here, because it sounds like nobody's trying to be an adult about whatever this conflict is. But it's hard to say without more info, namely, what started this division. While I agree that there's missing info, brother cannot choose to have a child-free destination wedding, then complain when guests can't show up. You run the risk of guests not being able to attend a wedding with just one of those factors, but to then go and plan one with both? You're saying that their guest you're inviting out of obligation, but you don't really want them to attend. These types of weddings only work for really specific times in life, and if everyone else you want to be there can do it. I mean, based on how OP is talking, I struggle to believe they actually couldn't attend, and that all that was just a reasonable excuse not to go. For your own parents to not go to your wedding? Yeah, that's a little upsetting. OP and their family sound excessively resentful towards this woman. I doubt they've sat down and spoken to her or anything. And the fact that they're just being childish and going, yeah, we're not talking to you, celebrating your birthday, or inviting you to anything if she's there, is just extreme. At that point, either cut the brother out of your life entirely or buck up and deal. Everyone's the idiot here, but good luck to you. Your family sounds exhausting. I have an 18-year-old son and a teen stepdaughter. They're civil with each other, but have their own lives. It's just how our family is, especially since my husband and I married when my son was 14 and his daughter was a tween. I'm not too strict with my son. I don't know what he does with his friends, and I'm not too involved in his personal relationships. We're still just as close as any other mother and child. Anyway, a couple of days ago, my stepdaughter sent me a series of photos of my son. I believe he may have posted them on his private social media accounts, and it was images of him partying, smoking, drinking, and doing things with both genders. I immediately told my stepdaughter that what she did was unnecessary and inappropriate. She replied with, "Sorry, and just thought you should know." I told her that unless he's in danger or hurting himself or other people, I would rather not know what my 18-year-old son does in his free time. I didn't want them to fight, so I didn't say anything. especially since my stepdaughter apologized once again. But yesterday, I was with my husband, and he was showing me a video on his phone when his daughter started sending him a bunch of messages. He opened them in front of me, and it was the same exact pictures of my son that she sent me days before. But this time she said, "So I sent these to stepmom, but she thinks this is okay behavior. Do you agree?" My husband didn't know how to react and told her that it really wasn't any of their business what he does, and she just sent a bunch of eye roll emojis. My son came home a while later, and I decided to tell him that his stepsister was sending us pictures of him. He seemed confused and asked to see, so I showed him the messages. He was extremely embarrassed and upset and went to his room. I then heard him on his phone yelling at someone. My stepdaughter came home an hour later and started yelling at me for snitching on her. I told her she was invading his privacy and he had the right to know. I gave her the benefit of the doubt the first time, but then she sent the pictures to her father. She said that I just ruined half of her friendships, and my son and a lot of his friends blocked her on social media. She said she had good intentions and wanted me to know what he was up to, but I just had to assume the worst. My husband agrees that my son should know, but he thinks we could have just given him a vague idea instead of showing him the pictures and telling him. Am I the idiot? Edit. His posting those pictures on social media was just my assumption. Some look very clearly posted by him on his private social media accounts, but some were blurry enough for me to question it. My son is too embarrassed to look at me right now, so I can't confirm. I'm trying to reassure him, but he's locked himself in his room, so I'm giving him some time before trying again. Also, I clearly state that I have no interest in his relationships. I know he doesn't hang out with weird or dangerous people. That's all I need to know. LMAO, what? She literally stalked him and took pictures of him to send to you to get him in trouble, and she's calling you a snitch? You're the parent. She makes no sense. Not the idiot. Maybe a grounding is in order. I don't know, but wow, what's her deal? Yeah, and maybe she outed him as well. OP doesn't say she knew he was bi. She was definitely trying to get him into some trouble. I don't know her reasons, but she's going about it in the worst way possible. Good on OP for not accepting that BS, and I hope the daughter learns a good lesson about not being a horrible excuse for a human being from this. I'd like to throw in that my sister used to do very similar things. She'd take everything she learned about me to my mom and try to cause trouble. It destroyed our relationship, and 20 years later, we still barely talk. Stepdaughter was trying to stir up trouble. Tell her she ruined half her friendships herself. My boyfriend, 29, and I, 23 male, are pretty affectionate and like to display that affection. Nothing too crazy, just holding hands, maybe some cuddling when in the right environment, and a peck here and there. Nothing straight people don't do routinely. When we're at his parents', we tone it down, not because they're uncomfortable, but because his brother, 26, is, and we don't want to deal with the stupid crap he says under his breath. There have also been a few instances of me and my boyfriend holding hands or just pecking on the cheek, and him saying some stupid crap like, "I don't want to see that crap." Recently, my boyfriend's brother introduced his girlfriend to everyone. She stays over there a lot since boyfriend's brother lives with their parents. So there have been occasions when they'll be full on making out in the living room or groping each other. This irks me since when my boyfriend and I do anything, he has a tiny fit. So my boyfriend and I decided no more holding back. He would just have to deal with it. We still keep it respectful, not making out or groping, just little displays of affection, as I said. For some clarification, their parents absolutely don't mind, and since we haven't held back, they've said they feel relieved. We finally feel comfortable around them enough to not have to worry about policing ourselves. I absolutely love his parents, LOL. One night we were having a movie night, me, my boyfriend, parents, brother, and his girlfriend. It's a movie night, so I'm cuddling into his chest while his arm is wrapped around me. Nothing nobody else is doing. Out of nowhere, his brother burst into a crap fit, saying he won't have our disgusting crap in his house, and some slurs that you can probably guess. After his little tantrum, his parents kicked him out of their house and won't allow him back. Now boyfriend and I are playing block whack-a-mole with his extended family, calling us horrible crap for making his brother homeless. He's couch surfing. His parents are also getting crap, but they've assured me it's all right. But I feel guilty that this has caused so much drama for my boyfriend and his lovely parents, all over a cuddle. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Your boyfriend's brother's behavior is the reason he's homeless. I admire you guys for keeping your cool and not contributing to the cursing and name-calling. Anyway, why is a 26-year-old couch surfing instead of finding a studio place to rent and stay? Maybe there's a reason your boyfriend's parents grew tired of his behavior, and this incident was the final straw before they snapped. This boy sounds like a real treasure. I just can't imagine how happy all the people he stays with are. I'm just amazed they have time to say anything to anyone while they're all busy fighting to see who gets to keep the precious little nugget. So much not the idiot here. Your parents did his parents a huge favor. Brother is living with the consequences of his own actions. You are not the cause of this. Brother caused this by being a jerk. He had a choice. If this really disturbed him, he simply could have left the room instead of throwing a tantrum. Also, it's the parents' house. They're the ones who make the rules, not brother. The tactic of getting friends or family to gang up on someone, like brother's doing, is typical of people who are naturally abusive or just plain bullies. It's the sign of a coward. And I'm sure there's an easy way for him to no longer be homeless. Apologize and agree not to throw tantrums while living with his parents. So I'm 27 male, dating this girl, 24, for about a month now. And the last time we got together, I noticed she had a very small tattoo on the back of her neck. I had never seen it before because her hair covered it. Now, here's the weirdest thing. She has my name tattooed. So obviously, the first thing I thought was that she made a tattoo after me, which would be insane, given we're only going out for a few weeks, and this is still a casual relationship. But she told me that it was not about me. It was about someone else with the same name. Just a coincidence. I looked closer and noticed the tattoo seemed old and faded, so it definitely wasn't done recently. Either way, I was obviously intrigued, so I asked, "Is it someone in your family?" And she just said, "No," and provided no additional information. So it was clear she didn't want to tell me who this person was, but now there's suddenly this missing information about her, and I simply can't let this go. So I kept asking her, was it a friend? Was it an ex? Until she lost her patience and told me that it was none of my business. Am I the idiot for pushing her to tell me who it was? Also worth saying, she has no other tattoos besides this one, so it seems even more meaningful. You are the idiot, and the fact that you immediately thought the tattoo was about you is wild. Stop when someone says stop. She doesn't need to tell you anything about her past. The tattoo isn't about you. End of story. Let it go. Given they've only been dating for a month and don't even seem to be at the girlfriend-boyfriend stage, I agree. However, if they keep dating, they will reach a point where she likely needs to give him a little more of an explanation. I get where you're coming from, but if she's not ready to tell you, just leave it alone. And if you don't like that she won't tell you, then leave the relationship. OP is a tool. No respect for boundaries and no common sense or critical thinking skills. She's 24 with an older, faded tattoo of a guy's name. It's pretty obvious it's an ex. She was young and dumb when she got it, probably barely 18, and it's not something she's proud of. Other options are a person she dated who died and she doesn't like to discuss it. Or maybe she gave a child up for adoption. In any case, you are the idiot, OP. Learn to read the room.